Hello everyone and welcome to yet another live coding and chill. It's Friday. I hope you had lovely, amazing weeks and we're gonna have a good time now trying to build server-side redirects with SvelteKit. Let me know how you've been, let me know what you've been building, let me know what you're up to. Hope you have amazing days again and amazing weekends, but we'll get that to the end. So it should be a shorter stream today. We may get this out the door, we may knock this out of the park quite quickly. The idea is that, you have an Instagram story promoting your live stream or your latest video or whatever else, or you have a TikTok where you have the in-app link, your followers see it, they click, they go to your YouTube video, to your site, to wherever else. The point today is that they click to go to that YouTube video, but it gets opened up in that Instagram or TikTok browser, which has a user not logged in. Nobody likes it. They don't want to open up again and log in with YouTube. So you may miss a like, you may miss a subscriber, and most of all, you miss being on that person's YouTube history. So they start looking at your video and then they're like, I'm here to scroll on TikTok or look at more Instagram stories. So they exit and they keep scrolling, and then they'll never remember that they were watching this video. Well, if it were to open the YouTube app, then when they go to YouTube again, YouTube may suggest to keep watching this video. It's in the YouTube algorithm, all sorts of benefits of having it open within the YouTube app. So less creepiness with Instagram and TikTok or whatever tracking when you open the browser there. They profile you a bit more, and more benefit both for the user. The UX is better, you're logged into your own YouTube, you can like, subscribe, all of that. And of course, as the creator, you also benefit if they are able to be engaging with your content more easily without extra hoops. So that's the problem we'll be solving today. I realize it's a niche problem, but hey, more people are creators now, so maybe you're a creator too. Or you are an engineer that's trying to do a classic engineering problem, tech exercise, creating a URL shortener, because what we'll be doing today is essentially that. We'll have a short link in our domain that actually links to a very, very long and ugly link outside of our domain. So this is a very common engineering challenge that you may want to build to learn stuff in different frameworks and languages. See it from that angle as well. So let's just about do it. The idea is that we do have this Jonify website, and we want to say that if we go to /tube, could be whatever, but we decide tube for today, they should make it into the YouTube channel, actually, the Jonify YouTube channel, not the old one. Let's see my grip is Jonify Tech. So they should land here. And again, if they were to click the Instagram link, they would still land here, but they would not be logged in because it would be essentially an isolated session with their browser. You want it to open in the YouTube app if they're using iPhone or Android, which they probably will because they're on Instagram. So what are you going to do? So how do we do that? Well, we have our SvelteKit app here, and we want to set up a server endpoint. We want this route, the /tube route, to be handled by a server endpoint. Now it's handled by nothing, so you get the 404 not found. But to get it to be handled by a server endpoint, we go to our source. Let's biggen up the desktop. So here we're on localhost running this. We go to tube, we get a 404. And that's because we're not handling this route, so it goes to the catch-all 404 page. But if we go to source routes, and in a new directory, calling it tube, we create a +server.ts. Here, we can export a handler. We can export a get handler that will be handling the get requests, such as the ones that browsers do. So to actually see what this should be doing, I may need to consult the SvelteKit docs once again, like for plus server. So request handler is how we want to type it, and we can get URL and other stuff that we are going to use, and we can return a response here. But what we're actually going to return in the end is a redirect. So let's type this magically as a request handler from the local types. And let's do the traditional thing. Let's return a new response of hello world. Too many fat arrows there. All right, so now we hit that URL, we get the hello world back. Great. In order to make the Instagram app actually get you to the YouTube app, we'll need to do some device sniffing. So we'll need to try to understand what type of device the user is on. And you shouldn't do this client side, and you shouldn't do it to render different UI and that sort of thing. That is considered bad practice. But for what we're gonna do, I think it's innocent enough. We're trying to improve the UX if they're on Android or an iPad, iPhone, and get them into the app if they have it installed. Maybe I should mention that there are big services, big SaaS companies that do this, such as URLGenius. They do this for lots of popular apps because app linking in the app is beneficial to the creator, as we discussed before. But why pay for this when you can have your own, and it can be even faster than what they're doing? But if we inspect what they're doing in this example, they're also creating QR codes here, which is quite neat. You can see that I give them this YouTube URL, and they're saying, well, if it's iPhone, then get them to this VND YouTube protocol. So instead of HTTP, it should open on this. And then their phones will recognize that corresponds to an app, it's a YouTube app, and we'll open that app and let them handle the rest of the link. And on Android, it's similar, but looks even more complicated. It's an intent protocol and a few more parameters that are in there, which, to be fair, I'm not sure why they're there, but I understand the fundamentals. Fundamental number one, this seems to work. Fundamental number two, it tells the phone the instructions with which app it should try to handle the rest of the link. So that's what we'll be trying to do today. But to understand whether it's iPhone, iPad, or Android, we're going to be doing some device sniffing on the server side, which we can do with the user agent. And the user agent, we should be able to get it from the request headers. And I think that's the best way to get it. We have a set headers, but I don't think we have a different sort of helper method to get the headers. Sure. So let's get the user agent and let's return the response. That's just to prove that we are doing something here. So if we go again, we can see my device and my browser. We don't really care about the browser, but we do care about the device. Like we are on an Intel Mac, which is not true. we are on an Apple Silicon map. I guess that's one of the reasons to not depend on device sniffing too heavily. Like these are not intuitive. It may mean something else, I'm sure, with the combination of numbers here. There will be a map somewhere that will tell you, oh, this actually means Mac Studio or whatever else. But the point of it is, I will try to see if the user agent has iPhone or iPad or Android or none of those, and then decide where to redirect the user. So we may create a method here. I will extract it later. In the end, in order to redirect them, we're gonna throw a redirect. It's gonna be a 303, and the location should be the YouTube channel. Yeah, this one. So let's always get them there. And then you redirect. So throw a redirect. So now, if we try to go to /tube, we should be getting to the YouTube channel, which is fine. This is the case that we want if the user is on a laptop or a Mac Studio or whatever else. If they're on a non-iOS, yeah, I'd say non-iPhone, iPad, or Android device, we want them to redirect here normally. But we're going to use the user agent to see if they're actually on an iPhone or iPad or something like that. So we may want a file like get device type. And maybe we can write even some tests from this. And we're using Vitas for this. We do have some simple tests. So the user agent can try to pick what we have here. So we can find it from the navigator. I wonder if it's going to be the same as the one we saw before. So I'm going to select it. So these are just some sanity tests. It's not going to be anything too crazy. But let's export const derive device. And if we run another test here, I think the M button on my keyboard is starting to die. All right. Expected null to be other. So we can say that this always returns other. Now that this is passing. Amazing. think that's how you spell iOS. Now I could connect with my phone and see what happens. But hey, let's get one from here. So, oops, that's it. So something like this should result in iOS. iPhone ecosystem. Is it iOS? Because there is iPadOS and WatchOS and all of that. Apple device? Like, is the Mac Studio not an Apple device? I'm not sure. Apple Mobile? Thinking about it hard. Let's just say iOS. And the idea is that if there is iPhone there, we're gonna do it. However, there are maybe potentially Stack Overflows that have the answer to this. So let's Google it. I want to do it server side. Here you go. Not the best one. I'm sure I can find one for my experiments. Yeah, let's test for this. The simple regex is gonna be we test the user agent against this regex, which is like, is it iPad, iPhone, or iPod? Then return iOS. And then our tests should be green. And they are. And I've already like over-engineered and not really TDD'd this, but you know, we should be doing an iPad. Does it think it's a Mac? Let's go with this one because it must have been true at some point. Still be true thanks to our regex. And what else does our regex do? iPod. We really need to test for iPod. Not really. So iPad or iPhone, do that. And finally, nerd font user agent. We have a few of those here. We want it to be Android. And I guess we can say just Android in there. Return Android. Looks like we're cutting the cases. So now in our server file, we can actually say device, derived device, user agent, could be null. If it's null, I guess we should go the default. So does that happen, or do we break? It looks like it works. So all we need is to say string or null. And early out. Yeah, though somehow it just worked. So now we have the device, and we can switch on the device and say case iOS, case Android, and case other or default. We'll do something. They're all gonna be redirects, I guess. So let null so in the other case, the direct URL will be this. And in any case, we're gonna use redirect URL. And we can look at URLGenius and see what they do. So it looks like I don't want to unlock pro features. Just want to get this out of here. We would want the direct URL to look something like this, which I guess starts like this and then has the YouTube stuff. So we can extract this to be the channel URL. It's constant. And then bringing it here. And then we just break. And it's a channel URL. And for Android, what do we do? So it seems it's at this point that we want the channel URL. and it has the hashtag SARP pound symbol. It says YouTube here. So YouTube, Android, Google.com. That's the name of the YouTube app, I guess. And this may be it. So the behavior here should be the same. If I go to localhost /tube, get redirected to the channel, great. Do it one more time. So if I actually go to tube, I go to the YouTube channel, great. First part done. Can drink a bit of water. And we can move on to redirecting specific videos. Which should be very similar, but well, let's do it for a specific video first. Let's create a folder for text gradient or view transitions. People are loving this video. Check it out if you haven't. And pretty much copy this server thing. But the video URL is going to be this. Derived device is going to be from a slightly different place. And the video URL, of course, is actually going to be this. It looks correct. So if I were to go joinify.com/tube/view transitions, it gets me here to the video. On this account, of course.
Hello and welcome. I'm Johnny, and you want to give your
I am not on YouTube Premium.
Hello and welcome. I'm Johnny, and you
It's kind of nice. Yeah, so it's the correct one. Cool. So that's the easy way to do it, I suppose. The easy way is to hard code all the links that you have. You can do a code deployment every time you have a new video or whatever, or you want to create a new link. And that's it, really. So if we wanted to link to the other video, the text gradient, it's gradients. I'm never sure if I used the singular or plural for this one. But you do it every time, you copy the plus server, and that's it, which is not great. So there is a better way to do this with code deployments, but more flexibility. So we don't want URLGenius anymore. I think we figured it out. We want to use a slug, which is our out param. So nothing fancy, I guess. It's just brackets and the name of the thing that we want. And on the server, we can take them from params, I suppose. Let's see. So instead of view transitions, let's call this slug. And this should have params. Slug. And we're going to use that slug. Let's say that we have a map. So slugs to video URLs. And we can say that whatever this is. What did we call it? View transitions. That's this URL. Well, text gradient has this other URL. Also, look, I've added closed captions on this one for your benefit. Accessibility is important. Every video I try something better. All right, so this is the link for the other video. Cool. And we want to say that the video URL is going to be slugs to video URLs slug. We can type this as a record of string keys to strings. I think that's going to be kind of happy, I guess. But if we have no video URL, maybe we can return a new response not found 404. Or we could just be redirecting to the YouTube channel. Maybe that's a better idea. But let's see how this would work. So tube, something else. I think that's better. I'm not sure if that's better or not. Not quite sure. Because this counts as a page view, kinda. So should we be actually be redirecting to the YouTube channel? I guess so. Maybe we can have the channel URL somewhere. So get this out of there, put it in a constants file, use it in here. Or we redirect to the channel. So if we go here, we should be redirected to the channel, but I guess not. Let's restart this just in case. Or for not found. What did I do wrong?
Hello and welcome.
So this gets me here. Great.
That elusive app like
So looking at the wrong thing. Yes, so. Yeah, I was looking at the live code. All right, so if we go to a random URL, somehow, for some reason, tube slash something that doesn't exist, We get redirected to the tunnel, which I think is good enough. But if we do something that is in our little map there, it should redirect us to the correct one. If I type it in correctly. Oof, and we need to drop the HTTPS, of course. We need to drop the protocol. It's good that it's act. We could be testing this with Playwright, but I don't want YouTube to think that I'm like farming views, making a bot doing views. I want to be nice. Few transitions get me in the correct place. Text gradients get me in the tunnel. Text gradient gets me in the video for the text gradients. Cool. Looks decent. And I think that's workable. Like maybe we don't need to introduce like a database and stuff. It does mean that every time you want to create a new URL, you need to do a code deployment, and that's why you may prefer having a database for this. But I think that's good enough for today, and it's going to be faster than doing a create a database as well. If we want to complicate stuff in the future, and we want to have like subscriptions to whenever someone uses redirect, so I could have an overlay that I use here in OBS, and every time someone goes through a redirect, we get a pop-up that says, oh, someone is watching this video, this specific video. That could be neat. So that could be a reason to use Supabase as another layer there. We could have a table that has all the slugs and all the URLs they point to, and even embed some stats there and see how many times they were used or how many times they were read, and then we subscribe to that. But I'm not sure if it's worth it. We'll see. Project for the future. And this should be a fast one. So let's commit what we've done. And also, I will have Vercel deploy this so I can check on the mobile device whether we've done it correctly. So Vercel has already deployed this. I have this, and I'm gonna switch to the face view and try to use my phone to go there. So I want to go to tube/text gradient. Try to copy this from the Mac Studio to my phone. Let's see. All right, the paste worked. Let's see what happens. It asks to open on YouTube, great, and then it opens on YouTube. Amazing, that's what you want to happen. You don't want it to open on the Safari browser. It means if I use it in an Instagram story, then people will click and see this on YouTube. Awesome. The video looks good, by the way. I like the colors, I'm surprised. I like the Baldur's Gate references, which I'm still playing. But yeah, that looks good. Something else that we may want to do. So I'm not going to do the Supabase stuff today, it's in my mind. I will think about analytics. I'm using Plausible for analytics here, so I can see how many people visit, if at all, the app or my website or whatever, whichever one of my millions of apps I have. But this works by using the Plausible script client side. So the moment the user gets on a client side page, then a visit is recorded. And it would be neat to see how much the URL service, the linking service, is recorded. Again, we could be storing something in Supabase, have our database do that, but we're having analytics anyway, so why not make this thing keep track of it? And they have an API, not authenticated though, so I'm not sure about that. But it feels like we post to this URL, we have a few headers, and then it counts as a hit. So we could give it a go. We could, in libs, can have a plausible track page view, which is not actually a page view, the track redirect. Do they have a category? Not sure. What can you actually pass? Domain, name, URL, name. Right, so page view is a special type of event. It's not a page view. We'll call it something else. Oops, we don't have revenue. Okay, so what we want is to make a post request. So put const track redirect. And we're going to be making, it looks like a fetch request. Maybe we can just return this to plausible. And these are the headers, I suppose. So fetch this URL. Method. That M is gonna drive me crazy. That method is post. And we have some headers. User agent will be passing through. User agent SvelteKit. Cute. Yeah, so pass this through. And we also want this X forwarded for, which I don't really get, and we'll always have a content type. JSON. I guess that's the IP, user IP. They use it for user identification. So we'll find out if we can do that at some point. And that should be it. I don't know why the curlies are there. Parentheses, and this, and this. Should be all good, right? Oh no, content type, application JSON. All right. So we need to figure out how to get the user IP. And I guess there is like some payload. We're gonna have, so besides headers, we're gonna have a body. Selection stringify. What do we want? We want the domain. We can see the plausible script for this. So the domain is sonify.com. And the URL, it's the href. Another string. And we can have a name as well. We want to say page view in-app redirect. Sure. And now we can track event, redirect. User agent is going to be this. URL is here. The href and what else do we want? We want the user IP, right? GitHub Copilot suggests something that I'm not sure is correct. Should have had the big screen for all of this. Hopefully you were able to see enough. So oh, is it just this? I guess so. All right, so we can get the user IP from the forwarding ref thingy. So this is what they want. Plausible ones. I'm not profiling you. This is just for stats of what, for unique visitors. Like, is it a unique visitor or not? I'm not profiling a specific person there. So this can be null too. I set the headers here and then add. Set. That looks about right to me. And then we need to use the headers. And we should be fine and dandy. So here, you should be tracking correctly for the YouTube channel. And let's do the same. For the specific slugs. So this, let's call it funnel URL for clarity. URL here. Here we're gonna use URL href. All right, so that looks correct. We call this different. We're getting the user IP through this. And maybe we're tracking the direct. Should we be waiting for this? Should we wait this? I'll say no. Let's try to be fast and whatever happens, happens. So this looks fine. And this looks fine. And this is our new track the redirect method. It's using our domain and up redirect. Nope. Now we should be able to track the usage of our redirects. If you don't measure, you can't understand. So we have pushed this. Real-time dashboard. Something happened, who knows? We can go again here. And it looks like this has been redeployed. So we can visit the preview. If we go to tube text gradient.
Hello and welcome. I'm Johnny and you.
hope this I haven't been screaming in your ear in twice, 2 places. So did it work? Did it not? Who knows? It's not coming from the zonify.com actual domain, so maybe that makes it get ignored. But hey. Oh, there you go. How did even... Ah, yeah, this was a 404, so this was tracked. Cool. They get tracked as bounces, I guess. Great, so we got a visitor there, but not a page view. So it seems like we've achieved what we wanted. Great. Is there anything else? Can we use here? It feels like there should be a page where I can see my named events. But hey, not the time. There you go. We actually got it. Even here there is no name. But hey, source, page. Oh well. We got what we wanted, so this code will be merged right after the stream. Managed to do the bonus analytics. I didn't do the super-based migration. I think that would take too much time. Not to set up. Would make the request take too much time. I think no need to hit the DB. If I start having like hundreds of videos, if I start using the directs for the live streams, then yeah, I think that'd be a good addition. But now just doing a code update is fine. I do a code update every time I stream, which is twice a week these days. So pretty often we should be fine. Real-time alerts. We can see the real-time now, and I wonder if we can use the API to subscribe to something like this. But I don't think so. I don't think we can use a plausible API for this, which would make it so we'd either need to do something on the server side here, something cool, maybe use Pusher or something like that, or again use Supabase and have a subscription, because we'd be adding like a counter every time we retrieve a slug. We also update the used count or something there, and we are subscribing to that column, and every time that increases we can show our overlay. That's gonna be fun to do in the future. Although I suspect the next stream is gonna be all about Stripe again and doing our subscription stuff, getting it all sorted and nice. But yeah, I think that's gonna be it for today. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope your Friday keeps going well, and I hope you're going to have amazing weekends. Do let me know in the comments or in the Discord or wherever else what you want me to cover. There is a new video dropping on Google Fonts soon. Next live stream is gonna be Tuesday or Wednesday. I'll let you know. Definitely next Friday though. On Friday we always do it. Tuesday or Wednesday, one of those two we also do. That's about it. Thank you very much once again. Have lovely afternoons and evenings and lives.